Hi there, I'm Kathy Barker and you're watching one of a collection of videos about how to manipulate data using Power Query inside of Power BI Desktop. If you like this video or would like to subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. So please subscribe or tick like and give me some feedback. Right, what I want to look at now is we've connected to a variety of files. We've connected to Excel workbooks. We've connected to CSV files. We've connected to tables and queries within a database. Now what I want to do is look at how do we connect to a folder. If we connect to a folder, that as you keep adding files to that folder, they're automatically brought through into Power Query and into Power BI, or if those files update in that folder. So that saves you having to import each and every single file out of a folder. Just connect to the entire folder. That's what I want to look at. Okay, so we're in the Power Query editor. The new source button, we've used this several times, but now what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to go to more, and this time I'm wanting to choose a folder that I connect to. So eventually I'll get the option to choose folder and amongst all the other types of data that you can connect to. But if I choose folder and I choose connect, then I can go off and locate that folder that I have intentions of storing a lot of files in. So I'll browse, and on my desktop, I just simply chose an exercise file there, and a folder called Combine Excel Files. So in this folder called Combine Excel Files, I've got more than one Excel file in there, and I'm going to keep adding to that folder, and I want that just to automatically come through. So I go OK. And if I go OK again, it'll basically bring up a window, a combine and transform window. So it's telling me that there are 3 spreadsheets in that folder: orders for 2019, orders for 2020, and orders for 2021. And what I can do is I can combine and transform all of that data into one source of truth. So I combine and transform data. Takes a little while. Now, it's showing me the first file, orders 2019, but I can ask to see 2020. I can ask to see 2021. So you can examine what is in each file. And I'll go back to the first file and orders 2019. Okay. I actually might choose table 1 because I actually have formatted them as tables. So I'll choose table 1 and I'll just click OK. What you'll eventually see in your queries pane on the left-hand side is this transform data group here, which you can collapse and which you can expand. I might collapse it and drag it down. Or drag that above it. Nope, it's not going to let you. So you can't move that group. Okay, so if I transform it and I have a look at sample file, what I've got here is basically all the data. Now hang on a minute. No, here it is here. That I would actually probably just collapse, and it's this that you want to look at. This has got all the records from the orders 2019, scroll down, 2020, scroll down, 2021. So in our other queries group, we've got this new query called Combine Excel Files. It's getting its data from that folder. If I happen to add an orders 2022 file to that folder, that would automatically appear in here, and I can work with a collection of data from a number of different files. Now, Often when you're working also with the data as time transpires, you get this refresh here, and it's a good idea to click it so you know you're dealing with the latest data. But you also on the home tab have a refresh preview button, and you also underneath the drop down have a refresh all. And I would actually refresh all the data and make sure that all of those queries are up to date and showing you the latest data in their sources. So do refresh all regularly so you're seeing the latest data. Now, the next thing I want to show you is what they call parameters. It's considered best practice to try and narrow down the amount of data that you're working with. It makes it more efficient. And so what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to check that we can use parameters by going to the View tab in the ribbon and ensuring that Always Allow is ticked in the parameters group. If you want to use parameters, you have to tick that option, and then it should stay ticked. But parameters is a way of narrowing down your data set so that it doesn't grind and have to work with such a huge data set. So I'm going to the combined Excel files query, and I'm looking at the order date. And let's say that I want to put a parameter on the order date that I'm only looking at things as of the year 2020 and to now. So to create a parameter, I go to Home. And what you've got here is Manage Parameters, and you can create a new parameter. Now, whatever name it currently gives you, you edit that, and I'm going to say Restrict Data by Date. And you can type a description also that explains what your parameter does. So I'm going to put this parameter, because I've mentioned a few times now in the videos, document or describe your queries, your columns, your anything and everything. Parameter is used to restrict volume of data by a date parameter. And so because I'm saying it's a date parameter, I'm going to change the data type literally to date. And I'm going to choose the 1st of the 1st, 2020. I'm only interested in data that is as of the 1st, 2020 to now. And so I go, okay, and I've created a parameter. So how do I actually use that parameter? What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to select the order date. Oh, I can change the parameter there too, because now it's sitting here. But if I go back to Combine Excel Files, to actually use it, I'm going to hit the drop down on order date as if I was going to filter. I'm going to go to Date Filters, and I'm going to go to Custom Filter. And here I'm going to choose this drop down, and I'm going to choose parameter. And here I can choose my parameter, but it could be one of many parameters that I've got created. But if I go OK, it will now only show me those orders that are beyond the 1st of the 1st, 2020. And that has given me nothing. Date filters, custom filter. I've chosen parameter. I've chosen my parameter, and OK, and still nothing. So I'm going to go back to my restrict, 1st of 1st, 2020, manage parameter. So restrict data by date. It's a date field, any 1st of 1st. Let's try 19. And OK. Let's go back to combine Excel files, and still nothing. And so I'm going to delete the filter, delete the filter. So here's my dates. So it should be showing me, actually let's just check the order date, 2019, 2020. So it should be giving me, cancel. Look at the parameter. The parameter is the 1st of the 1st, 2020. Oh, I know what I've done. I could edit the video and appear perfect, but I think we learn more when something goes wrong. I know what I've done. I'm going to go back to order date. I'm going to go back to date filters. I'm going to go back to custom filter. I'm going to go back and choose parameter. I'm going to go back and choose my parameter, but I don't want equals. I don't have any orders with an order date of the 1st 2020 is what that's telling me. I need to have greater than or equal to, is after or equal to, is after or equal to whatever I say that parameter is, and okay. Then I'll get records that are after the 1st 2020. And notice the first one's the 2nd of the 1st 2020. That's why I got nothing. If I now want to restrict and say, actually, I'm only after those after 2021, go back to your parameter here, change your parameter to 2021, and when you go back to Excel, you'll find they're all after 2021. So a parameter query is a way that you can restrict the amount of data that you're working with and improve the performance of the data. So those are parameter queries. I could actually right click that. I could move to group. I could create a new group and I could call them parameter queries. And that would enable me to easily find this is where we store all our parameter queries. And okay. And so that will create a group parameter queries, and there's that parameter query sitting in that particular group. I hope you've enjoyed this series of videos about how to use Power Query to transform and get data from a variety of locations. This is my level 1 course, Kathy Barker Software Solutions. If you're interested in level 2, please follow me, please like me, please subscribe me, and let me take you through this process of Power BI. I'm going to close and apply my changes to Power BI, and it will connect and load and apply. You'll see all these fields on the right hand side. This is all of our data that we have loaded and transformed. And in the next video, collection of videos, I'll show you how you can then create visualizations and present this data in reports using a variety of visualizations. I hope I see you there. Bye.